you played on a dozen, almost a dozen teams, but you played for a very long time in the NBA. But you made a home in Houston. You live here. You spent two different stints with the Rockets. Talk about to the fans here in Houston what those Rockets teams meant to you. You played with T Mac, you played with Yao, you played with all these great guys that are known as quote unquote Houston legends. Talk to the people about just what it was like putting on the Rockets uniform. Although I know you had some brief stints with the Rockets, but what did that mean? And then ultimately led you basically setting up shop and living here.
I was already living here.
Oh, really?
And so when I got the opportunity to play for the Rockets, it was like, man, I'm going back to where I'm living. So that was exciting one in itself. And the first conversation that Jeff Van Gundy had with me, he said, mind you, I've never had a coach ever in my life say this to me. He said, I just want you to, I know you don't know no plays. I know this is the beginning. Like, it's going to be a little hard for you to figure it out, but I just want you to just play and just go out there and just be free. I said, excuse me? I said, whoa. I said, you what? He said, yeah, I just want you to go out there and just play and just be free. I said, oh man, it's a wrap. I was averaging like 19 points, like 5 assists for like the first 6 games. This is when Bobby Sir was hurt. I was averaging like 19 and 6, and we was like 4 and 2, as me as a starter. The 7th game, Jeff Van Gundy calls all of us together, and he basically says, David Wesley, John Barry, Bobby Sear, all of us, he called us all in like an office. And he said, okay, Mike, Bobby Sear is starting tonight. You're coming off the bench. You should even be happy that you're even in the league. I said, okay, like that's not the right way to do it, but all right, cool. So I come off the bench now, but this is how his approach was to me. And he did the same thing the next game we were playing against Phoenix. He did the same thing that Pat Riley did to me. So after he had me coming off the bench for Bobby, he subbed me in the game with like 6 minutes in the first quarter. I shot one shot, missed it. He subbed me right back out.
Damn.
I said, oh, so this is how you're going to treat me. You went from telling me to play free and telling me, and I'm averaging almost 19 a game, to now you're going to sub me out every time I do something that you don't like. So I said, all right, cool. Mind you, we was down by 20 in that game. I didn't play the third quarter. I had like 20 in the fourth quarter. We beat Phoenix by 20. And I had my chest poked out a little bit. Like, yeah, you should be playing me. But I was still coming off the bench after that. Like, he was like, Bobby Sear is the starter. But I can remember I used to walk through I used to take the elevator to the gym because I wouldn't take the stairs, because when I go up the elevator to the gym and I walk through the tunnel, I would always look at all the retired jerseys. Every single morning I used to do this. I would look at the retired jerseys and I used to always be like, my jersey going to be right there. And that's what I never said that about no other city, no other team I've ever been on. But when I was in Houston, for whatever reason, I used to always say, my jersey's going to go right there. I can remember even when we was in the playoffs, we played Dallas in the playoffs that season, and we lost in 7 to Dallas. Game 6, we was down 3-2 to Dallas. We lose this game. We're not going to we go home. Game 6, I had like 28 in game 6, and I can remember fouling Dirk out in the fourth quarter, and I was so hyped and I was so juiced. And I looked at the bench, and Jeff Van Gundy, he was grabbing his hair like this, like he was gonna pull his hair out. And like he was so scared, like, what is this dude doing out here? And I looked at him and I said, man, calm down. I ain't say it like that. I had some other choice words, but I was literally like, man, calm down. I got this. He looked at me. He called a 20-second timeout just to curse me out. He cursed me out, literally was like, yo, who the F you think you are? You ain't sugary. I'll have you out of this league so fast. And I couldn't really believe what was happening right now. Because I was like, wait a minute. This ain't the regular season. Like, this is the playoffs. This is
Right.
for the championship.
Right.
So I turned my back on him and I started talking to myself because I still had to hit a free throw. And all I kept saying was, Mike, hit this free throw. This ain't the regular season. This is the playoffs. Don't even listen to what this man is saying right now. And, you know, it was such a victory for the team and individually. But it was crazy because I was going home hurt. I was going home with my feelings hurt. While everybody looking at me excited and happy, we going to game 7. I'm sitting there like, man, I can't believe this dude just talked to me like this. I can't believe. I'm like, dang, even when I do good, I still do wrong. And so everyone's like, yo, you should be celebrating. I was like, man, I just went home. I just went home and just was like, I was so distraught because it was like, even when I try to do right, I'm still doing wrong. So then it was funny to me because I can remember asking Jeff after the season was over. We got blown out in game 7. And, you know, the season is over. I got kicked out in game 7. Like, I got kicked out the game, or whatever happened. So I asked Jeff, you know, I asked him after the season. I thought that we had a relationship where I could ask him this. And I said, Coach, let me ask you a question. Why wouldn't you start me in game 7 if you saw what I did in game 6 and you know Bobby's hurt? Because I'm the coach and you the player. And I make the decision. I said, hey, I was curious. Like, where was your mind at and what was your thinking on your strategy on how we gonna win this game? And so he said that to me. And then I said, Coach, what do you think about me? Like, seriously, like, what do you think about me? He was like, you're an arrogant, cocky SOB. And I said, man, that's what you get from me? And the hard part was he believed that about me. But it was like, okay, I get it. Guess what? Nobody believes in me. I believe in me.